Now I come to the poem Brahma by R. W. Emerson. This poem is based on the Upanishadic concept of Brahman, that is the supreme reality. This Sanskrit term Brahman is synonymous with the ultimate truth. Almost all the Upanishads and the Srimad Bhagavad Gita advocated the presence of this Brahman as the supreme reality. Emerson was one of those American transcendentalists who were attracted to the soul-making system. So, Emerson was a transcendentalist. That means he was one of those who could bring the concept of the unification of individual soul with the infinite soul. As Upanishads and the Gita are regarded as the highest authority to explain the concept of the soul and its connection to Brahman, the scholar like Emerson, after coming to the contacts of the Indian scholastic treasures, tried to envisage this concept in their literary works. Brahma is the outcome of Emerson's idea regarding individual soul and the supreme soul, which he directly conceived from the Kathopanishad. My dear students, it's for your knowledge that Emerson was very much influenced and impressed by the subject matter of Kathopanishad and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The successive scholars who wrote about Emerson's life and works, they have pointed it out that Emerson was very penetrating reader of these books, that means Upanishads and Gita, and that is why he could bring the ideas and concepts of these books in his own creations. So, in the poem Brahma, the poet intermingles the slayer and the slain in one platform. So, slayer and the slain, actually these two terms are opposite in sense. Slayer is the killer and slain is the killed. So, slayer in general, outwardly, he is the man of power, and slain, that person in general, outwardly, is a weaker person. But in the poem Brahma, Emerson has placed both the slayer and the slain in one platform to equate these two concepts. He wanted to equate the slayer and the slain both. So, what Emerson thought is that he did not want to put more strength or energy in the slayer, neither he wanted to show the weakness of the slain. Why? That is the idea he received from the Upanishadic studies. In this poem, Brahma is in the form of the narrator. That means Brahma is telling the lines. He is enumerating the views, the ideas. And through the words of the poet, Brahma ensures his presence behind every action and the actor. So, my dear students, see how beautifully the Vedantic concept of the omnipotence of Brahma has been infused through the words of English language by Emerson. The poem speaks that everything comes from Brahma and everything goes back to Brahma. He is the strength of all action and he provides solution to all doubts. This is very important to note. Emerson has shown here the full faith in the concept of Brahma, who could give the strength to overcome all the material obstacles in human life. Thus, the whole poem of Emerson speaks on the eternal nature of the soul, the concept of non-duality, and the all-encompassing reality. Thus, also, he has shown the way through which one can find Brahma. So, he is not pessimistic. Through the lips of Brahma, Emerson has established the positive note that ultimately Brahma is the final reality and everything will mingle with the concept of Brahma, that everything has sprouted from Brahma and everything will be mixed up with Brahma only. And he has also shown which path we should follow, the individual human being should follow to get united with this spirit, this higher spirit. So, my dear students, I think the whole poem resounds the Upanishadic kernel of the Kathopanishad. It is not my personal view. It is the view of all the renowned scholars. They have examined, reviewed, they have studied thoroughly the lines, the words of Emerson, and they have come to the conclusion that the poet Emerson was very much influenced by various Upanishads and Srimad Bhagavad Gita and some of the Vedic works of Sanskrit language. So, for your ready reference, I just want to place before you one verse from the Kathopanishad where we find the reciprocal views, the original views which were reciprocated in the poem Brahma. That view can be found in many mantras of the Kathopanishad, but I am reciting only one for your benefit. What is the mantra? Yada sarve pramuchyante kama ye asya hridi shritaha atha martyo amrito bhavatyatra brahma shamasnute. It is 2.3.14 of Kathopanishad. What is the message of this verse, of this mantra? Here the speaker wants to place before us that when an individual comes out of his own self, that is, comes out of the periphery of selfishness, when all the desires vanish away, only then one individual can attain the status of Brahma or can be united with the infinite soul, the supreme reality. Thus, we can equate the reciprocal ideas emerged in this verse as well as which was reciprocated by Emerson in his poem. In this way, we can equate many other verses of the Kathopanishad or the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, wherefrom we can say that the ideas and concepts were taken by Emerson to form, to create, to write, to compose his famous poem, The Brahma. According to Emerson, meek lover of the good finds Brahma, that is the ultimate reality. Thus, he has established through his words that to attain the ultimate reality, to attain the ultimate goal, one must be good in heart. The wicked, the selfish personalities can never be united with the Supreme Soul. So they remain engrossed in their personal benefits, in their personal thoughts, and they can never cross the boundary of selfishness. Emerson wants to establish that such people cannot attain the supreme reality. They cannot test the higher goal. They cannot achieve the highest development. Who will achieve the highest development? One who is meek lover of the good. So, to attain the higher goal, one must be good in heart. And this is the message of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and all the Upanishads. So, in this way, Emerson has adopted and intertwined the Upanishadic lore or Upanishadic concept in his own poem. Again, in this poem, Brahma, besides the term Brahma, two other terms refer to Vedic concepts directly. This is very important because in your curriculum it is specifically noted what are the Vedic terms or Upanishadic terms used by the foreign scholars. You have to notice that. So, question may be asked in the examination. This point is very important. So, apart from the term Brahma, Emerson has used two other terms here which are completely Bharatiya, Indic in nature. The two terms are Brahmin and him. Obviously, two terms are used in English form. Brahmin, it is the English form of Brahmana, and him, it is the English rendering of mantra. But both the terms, though in form, those are in English language, but in essence, those bear the Bharatiya meaning, the Indic meaning. So, what are those? By the term Brahmin, here Emerson wanted to tell about the Brahmana or Brahmavid used in the Vedic forum. Who was the Brahmana or Brahmavid in Vedic forum? It is not connected to caste. It is connected to the knowledge of Vedas. One who had the knowledge of Vedas, one who could chant the mantras of the Vedas, he was called Brahman or Brahmabid, Brahmabetta. So in that sense, the term Brahmin has been infused in this poem. Again, by the term hymn, the poet refers to the Upanishadic mantras. As his poem is based on the Upanishadic concepts, so the term hymns here reflects the muse of the Upanishadic expressions. Thus, we can say that this poem of Emerson echoes the famous Upanishadic expression Sarvang Khalidang Brahma. This is the famous line from Chandogya Upanishad 3.14.1. That means everywhere is Brahma. Everything is Brahma. So, this all-encompassing existence of Brahma has been depicted through the poem of Emerson. And thus, we can say that famous poet Emerson was highly influenced and impressed by the message of the Upanishadic text of India.